Okay, so let me just run this by you. The 7th edition of the Young Professionals Transformational Leadership Conference, and in 2015, I've known about this for a number of years now. The 7th in addition will be taking place alongside the Young Professional Role Model Award, all slated this very Friday, the 23rd of October 2015, and happening live at the Accra International Conference Center. It will take place at 9 a.m. though. But we have the president of YPYC, and Andy Osayokra is in the studio. Thanks for joining me, sir.
Thank you, Roland.
All right. And this year, what's the theme of the event?
Thank you once again. The theme is empowering the next generation of leaders for Africa's transformation. We believe that, and since last year, we are focusing on the bigger picture, which is Africa. And Ghana is part of Africa. We believe that it will take a generation to transform this nation. And how do we empower them? So that is why we are focusing. And we have colleagues coming from Nigeria and other parts joining us. Then we'll focus on how do we empower young leaders for Africa's transformation. That is what we are focusing on this time.
Okay, I have known about this for all these years. At the end of the day, it's about the impact you intend making, but what also you've been able to do in terms of the impartation to young people since you started. What can you tell me about it?
Thank you, Roland. As you rightly said, you have been following us all these years. The impact is tremendous. This is about knowledge sharing. We share knowledge. And it's like, you know how these suicide bombers are able to bomb themselves? We indoctrinate somebody. We put in the ideas. It's a seed. You sow a seed of how do you become a truthful leader, effective leader. And our message there is a transformational leader. What are the skills that you need? So we are putting these things in all our participants, and that is what we drove home. How do we get people with integrity for our nation? You might not see it now, but we sow these seeds and we expect them to be using them in their lives. Now, when we come to the obvious one that we see in terms of the entrepreneurship, people who will coach, come after that for being mentored and all that. Come Friday, you see one of them who has even grown his business to the extent that he was a student. When he joined us, he was selling credit cards. Now that he has several outlets, he has moved into microfinance, and he has now wanted me to come and open the Takoradi branch. So this
as a guest of honor for him.
Yes, as a guest of honor for him. And he said that I can show you the test, that I'm very grateful, and I'm coming on Friday to share this to the world. This is what, and I think if we are able to even get one, it takes one person to invest all of us. So you're able to get one to prove to these young people that a young person who was a student at the same time learning and doing this thing can do this. Why can't you do that? And these are the transformational entrepreneurs we need in our time here, who will bring out innovations to do everything.
We live in a continent or a subcontinent where entrepreneurs tend to face certain difficulties. The environment, regulatory or not, it's not right, and so it's not rife as well. There are challenges out there. What usually are the challenges, and how do you advise the young people to counter them?
Good. Most because of how we deal with them, the challenge in entrepreneurship, and from what we know, and from what we hear from our participants and the people we mentor and coach, they think that it's the financing, the funding of everything. We do agree that it's difficult getting funded. Even this thing that we're doing, we have to struggle to get it going. But that is how it should be. Then the point is, how do you get initial capital to do all these things? I was talking to one of the successful entrepreneurs who has been shortlisted and nominated for an award on Friday. And I asked him the same question that you have asked me, and he said that he thinks that the solution to this is the mind, but not the pocket.
It's the mind.
Yes, it's the mind. The mind in the sense that you are determined and focused that you want, this is the idea. And it's true. The same thing YPYC is doing the 7th one. Roland, you and I know what we have done. Struggle, you have contributed. You didn't collect money from me, but you did it for me. So it's the mind, and I come to you and share with you, Roland, this is what we're doing. What can you do? The little one, you start with the little resources that you have, and somebody can believe in your idea and come in, and then you move on. But you should also understand, you should understand that this is business. It's marketing, it's making money. So when you are growing, you need to know where are the financial sources to approach and get the support to do it. And discipline yourself that I'm growing my business. Don't expect that you want to see one day multimedia group. We are all here how multimedia group started. It didn't just jump one day, that multimedia group. It started with one TV, one radio station, and goes on with the rest. And now we have multimedia group. So the point is, the challenge mostly has been the funding. They think that somebody should give them huge capital to start the business, but that is not it.
As young people, how do you get to persuade them that for all the things that you're talking about, the mind and setting the goal, because this morning we're just talking about goal and vision and things like that, that's our motivation for the morning.
Correct.
How do we make sure that you keep the focus right for the young person? The young person who doesn't have experience, hasn't seen it before, is going into the world out there, and all these obstacles are being envisioned.
Good. That is exactly the essence of this conference.
Okay.
So we bring true transformational entrepreneurs,
those who have been through it,
to come and speak to you. They will tell you how they started and how they did it, and they are there for you to see what they've done. So they will share with you. So this conference, the highlight is on leadership and entrepreneurship. The successful entrepreneurs, or the entrepreneurs who are still doing that, there's a topic on how do you become a successful entrepreneur. That is where we have people like Emmanuel Dertumi, Emmanuel Adusako, then young people, Randy Osei Bediakon of Caris Group. We have Dr. Osei Kusi. These will come and show you how they did it. And once you have been told, then it will encourage you. And that small boy is called Charles. He will also come. He's less than 25 years, completed the University of Ghana, and now own his own microfinance, fully registered and everything. He's a Ghanaian.
And he started from just a small step.
I knew. You tell Takwa, he was selling MTN
call cards.
And he come to me, and after that, what do you do? Yes. So eventually, when he was coming to school, he then employ people and put them tables and go to MTN, get the credit. And before coming to school, you have about 10 people selling the cars for him. So you go back, and anything I bought, they give them this little profit and add it up. This thing is all over in Takwa. Then he started again. People say he was now giving them the money for microfinance. That's where the microfinance idea started. He was now giving them the money, and now he has a whole microfinance thing. So that is how these people are going to, and this is how we do it. This is how we do it. We let people speak to you, we will tell you, and it's not about talk shop. It's people who are doing it, meeting them and talking to you. You can only get them on YPYC platform, on this conference, that you will meet people like that. And again, we then bring out role models. That's why we have the second part, which is Young Professional Role Model Awards.
Okay.
So role models who have been there for us, showing leadership, professionalism, excellence in their business, in their own personal life, will be awarded.
Well, great. Well, we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll be looking at the second part, in which we'll be joined by Edward Goldman. He's also with YPYC, putting together this whole event. And then the three of us will be talking about what the content of this whole sessions will be, what will be discussed, who will be the panelists, and also the issue about the awards, the Young Professional Role Model Awards, the objective, and at the end of the day, what we hope to achieve. So do stay with us. Edward Goldman joining us up next. Well, transformational leadership is important, and how you empower young people to achieve is also critical in making sure you create a certain mindset. And that is what we're discussing as we're going to have on the 23rd of October 2015, the YPYC, that is the Young Professionals and Youth Coalition 7th edition of its conference, leadership conference, that is also going to be alongside an award as well for young professional achievers who are serving as role models, are going to serve as role models as well. We've been joined by Edward Goldman as well, and he's also with this whole event and YPYC, a good thing that they've always been doing, the 7th edition. And Edward, thanks for joining us. What's so unique for the year? What's so unique for this very edition of the conference?
What's going to be wonderful, I wanted to just say good morning to our viewers, but what's going to be wonderful for this event is that it is a 7th anniversary, and we have seen over the years how it has impacted lives and the testimonies and what people have shared about it. And we think that the cry, the hue and the cry in the nation now, and not just in the nation, but on the continent of Africa, is leadership. And YPYC over the last 7 years has projected youth leadership, and people who joined us from the beginning have begun to appreciate the immensity of the platform of YPYC. And this year in particular, for the first time, we are having students coming from almost all over Ghana. I mean, people are coming from KNUST, people are coming from KVAS, people are coming from UEW, people are coming from Legon, Zenith University, and all these universities.
So you have the congregation of
so,
the youth population, so to speak.
I mean, the youth have begun to appreciate what YPYC is about, because we've all been to college, okay? And when you're in college, sometimes even at your last year of college, you tend to wonder what you are doing in the university. Some people have that problem. But I think YPYC has been able to model something that you can look up to and say, look, this is what we can do. This is how we can impact our nation. This is what young people can do. This is how young people can bring a contribution to national development. And so this year in particular, we have seen that all the people who have joined us from the beginning, all those who heard about us and initially did not participate, are now joining on. People are making calls. I mean, yesterday up until 12 midnight, I was around giving tickets, because people are calling, they want to be part of it, they want to come, and
they want to participate.
Yes.
Great.
I mean, it's so wonderful.
How will it be modeled? How is it going to be session-like? You're going to have panel discussions,
yes,
and what will be treated?
Yes, from our patrons, number one thing, we're going to have breakfast session, that's career clinic. That one is in the morning, the 8:30 to the 9:30. If you want to achieve academic excellence, if you are preparing for an interview, if you want to have a good CV for yourself, that section is for that. We have experts. Remember, we belong to the HR profession, and many others are coming. People who have also, they are big doctors who devote themselves, that they are entrepreneurs. They want to come and share and help us have that. So the morning session will treat the career clinic. Then we have the opening session where we have Excellency the Vice President will be speaking. We have Dr. Joyce Ayi speaking. We have Honorable Adokufo speaking. And then we crown it with the Role Model Awards. That is our session. And after that, then we have the panel discussion on how do you become a successful entrepreneur, and the kind of leadership you need to become a successful entrepreneur will be treated by the panel discussion. And these are where we have Dr. Osei Kusi, which is the Osei Kusi Foundation. We have Randy Osai Mediako, Courage Group, as I mentioned, Mr. Abraham Boatin, wonderful man at the SIC Financial Services. He's going to share his experience with you and see that these are people who have been successful. Also have Mr. Emmanuel Deltumi, who is the maestro when it comes to this kind of experiences.
Ghana, for example, we had independence in 1957. Yes. Really, well, it depends on which of the literature you're reading. They'll say we were trailblazers, so to speak. But over time, we've had countries, especially in the southern part and northern part, perform creditably as far as entrepreneurship are concerned. Growing businesses, growing people, imparting knowledge, etc. What haven't we gotten right in sub-Saharan Africa, for which now we need to have a certain rethink, a retrospection, and say, this is what by the next 10, 20, 40 years we need to be thinking about?
I think that, from a literature review, we can say that if you look at our colonial history, it kind of impacted our education and then human resource development, manpower development, and so I have defended that in writing to say that if you see the way we train even our graduates, our graduates are trained to handle middle-level management, okay, which we can do very well. But we need good top-level management. We need great entrepreneurs. And I think that it is now, right now, if you go into most of the institutions, there is an emphasis on entrepreneurship and leadership. That is where we didn't get from the beginning. We didn't have the concept of entrepreneurship. I think that because we were trained just to handle middle-level management, because the middle-level manager is not the one who makes the top decisions. But I think YPYC is one of the organizations now that is emphasizing entrepreneurship, that is talking to young people that you should start something, you can make something happen. You don't have to go sit down and say, no matter what is happening, don't pander to this concept of unemployed graduate association. We have to do something. We can do something. Like Obama said, yes, we can. And YPYC, I think our mantra is that, yes, we can. And Mr. Andy Okra is projecting that. I want to stand on this set and say that one reason why I'm with Mr. Andy Okra is because he, from KNUST days, has projected that message that young people, we can make it. And YPYC platform basically is to tell Ghana that the young people of Ghana, we are rising up. We are taking over the mantle of leadership in terms of entrepreneurship, not just political leadership, but we want to tell everybody that it is time we can make it. Whatever our history has been, we are rising up to correct that history. We are rising up to trail a new blaze, and change the story now.
Okay, so at the end of the day, we hope to be having an award session, but a thorough leadership conference, which also gives opportunity for young people to access services, so to speak. But then thereafter, after the conference, what do you do for the young people that you've targeted?
Yes, after that, we have a database, we have campus branches that we're going to make sure that we stay together and continue our mentoring and coaching. But Roland, let me add this to one bit which is unique about young professional, and the question you asked, which Africa is now yet to get it right, is one aspect of the transformational leadership we're talking about, which is the third or the fourth I, is intellectual stimulation. What that means is creativity and innovation. Africa lacked that.
Because we just get the educated to get bread and butter.
That's all.
We don't add extra value.
That is what we are focusing now. It will take innovation. Look at what Facebook has done to us now. Twitter. Look at all those things. WhatsApp. What are we producing in Ghana here?
Nothing.
Yes. That is what, and any Africa mentioned.
Nothing.
This is why we have to get it right. And it's the fourth component of the transformational leadership concept we are talking about. So after that, we focus on this. You come to our training institute, which we call the Transformational Leadership Institute.
And that's also in the dream.
That's also in the dream. That is where we will inculcate this thing for you to become a bomb that will blast and Africa will explode.
Well, thank you very much. And thanks, the two of you, for passing through the studio. You wanted to say a last word before we go?
I want to use this opportunity to invite everybody, wherever you're watching us in Ghana, on the internet, if you can make it, we are inviting you. The president of YPYC is here, Andy Okra, and I'm the vice president of operations. And I want to tell you, you shouldn't miss this conference. You have to be there. And Roland, you have to be there.
I will be there. And the conference is at the Accra International Conference Center. It is on the 23rd of October 2015. Friday. And this is just this very Friday. Tomorrow. Let me not just go far as if it's the next year. So just tomorrow. And please make sure that you go through the social network pages and the news portals, get the links, and make sure that you're there at the Accra International Conference Center. And thanks for passing through Andy Osei-Okra. He's the president of YPYC, and also Edward Goldman as well. And Edward Goldman is the vice president for YPYC in charge of operation. Thanks for passing through, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Well, we have to take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking a lot more. And then thereafter, we'll be doing a lot more lengthy discussions on AM Talk on the subjects that have dominated your mind on the various public discourse issues, not only on social media, but the mainstream media as well. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.